And actually, the driver for food demand is not hunger. There is a lot of hunger in the world already. The driver is money. And there is a more rapid change which is hidden inside here. In 2000, there were loud and clear. There were 1 billion people in the world that earned more than $10,000 a year. And the threshold in your diet is $10,000 a year. If you earn less, you're consuming 300 kilos of grain a year. If you are earning more, you are doubling your consumption. It does not mean that you're eating twice as much porridge. It means your diet is changing to milk, meat, beer. So in 2000, 1 billion people with this income of $10,000 or more a year. And thanks to the development of China, India, Brazil, Russia, and so on, now there is almost 2 billion people with that level of income. So basically, the number of wealthy people in the world has almost doubled in 10 years. And this is the driver for the consumption of food. This is the driver for the consumption or demand for cars and so on and so on. This is the reason why the grain prices are going rapidly up, or for sugar and so on. So the driver for the food demand is money, not hunger, and the number of people who are middle class is growing fast. And we haven't starved to death so far in the Nordic countries. So globally, the population goes like this. This is the trend. And the arable area has not grown since the Second World War. Yes, we know that rainforests are converted in the field at the same time because of pollution, urbanization, and so on. We are losing field at the same time. The average cereal yield per hectare has grown with the same trend as the population. And this is the reason. This is called the Green Revolution. It's been driven by fertilizer use, and well, technically we can debate that yes, you can add more fertilizers. It's from the environmental point of view, it's probably not a very good idea. But from an economical point of view, the driver for the fertilizers, the price driver for them is the price of natural gas. And the price of natural gas is going up, which means the price of fertilizers will go up. So even if you can boost the food production by using more fertilizers, which I doubt, but at least the cost of the increased volume will be higher. And this is something totally new compared to the industrial scaling. There is a descaling impact on increasing it. And irrigation, we spoke about it already. So if 70% of the water is already used, you can't double the volume. As simple as this. So there is the challenge in the food production. We may be able to increase the crops, but we need to be smarter than that. And if we increase the crops with the tools we have been using in the Green Revolution, at least the price of food will be much higher, which is causing a lot of problems for the governments already. And I'm coming back to the diet. So if you make a comparison, so this is, basically I'm comparing porridge and pork here. I like both, so I'm I'm not extremist in that sense. So if you eat porridge, one calorie of oat actually is what you're getting yourself. If you're eating pork, it takes 5 grain calories to produce 1 calorie of pork. By the way, for beef, the figure is roughly double as bad. In terms of greenhouse gases, the ratio is roughly 1 to 50. And in terms of water, the ratio is roughly 1 to 5,000. So this vegetarian diet clearly is the more clever solution. However, in the end, I want to make a point on behalf of a middle-aged man who may have a other point of view from his personal point of view seen. Okay, but there is a difference. For a while, I was afraid when I saw your presentation that you were showing the globe. That bloody hell, you have stolen my presentation. The big dilemma we have is that we think we are living on a planet Earth. But what if we start to think that this is a starship without a steering wheel? So if you are on a starship, it makes sense that you don't consume your resources because you don't get new supplies. This starship, it has no steering wheel. Secondly, it never gets new supplies except for the solar fuel, and we get a lot of that. So the idea of the bioeconomy is that we have these agro-ecosystems, and basically we have to be sustainable. We don't get new supplies. And this is where we need to be more clever than we have been so far. And this is the business opportunity. So this CCC, and I said this is a agriculture-based, simple point of view, is closed-circuit cultivation. So basically, the elements of the bioeconomy is here on the left-hand side. We have land, field in this case, we have water, we have the nutrients, and we have sun. And this micro CCC circulation is that, of course, you know, we shouldn't use more nutrients than the crop is able to use. We shouldn't, especially if it's irrigation, use more water than what the crop needs. But basically, if it's all inside there, you know, it's fine. And this is rainforest, actually, is this micro CCC cultivation. It's for the reason that nobody takes energy out of it and nobody makes the input there. But if you want to use that piece of land, you take the crop out. So for a field, if you never took the crop out, basically it would be totally sustainable, but we would starve. So we need to take the crop out. Basically, we use the grain to produce food, and if we produce the food directly for the people, it's more efficient. If we produce pork, it's less efficient. But at the same time, there is the straw. Again, to give you a pragmatic example, in the area of Turku, so 1 hectare of field, the energy value of the straw that we are leaving idle on the field is comparable to 2 tons of coal per hectare. There is a big power station in Naantali which is using coal. From the distance of 100 kilometers from Naantali, we could, with straw, take replace roughly 1/3 of the coal. The issue with the straw is how to make it economic. Gathering transportation so far is expensive. We are working on the ideas what to use. So there is the crop. In crop, you get the food part, you get the energy part. And this closed-circuit cultivation. So actually, we should have the circulation also that if we are using the straw in this combined heat production, we take the electricity out and we take the ash and it's taken back to the field as nutrition. In terms of food, so once the human beings have used the food, it's been processed in the stomach, you get methane and you get excrement. And the methane should be once again used to produce electricity, and the excrement should be taken back to the field instead of flushing it to the Baltic Sea. And basically, it's as simple as this. The dilemma is how to make it economically sound. And this is where we need to be more clever. I think we can solve all the issues needed, meaning on a Turku area based or in Finland, basically this agro ecosystem works fine. And the last point, so we have to empower the consumers. So you decide what you eat. If you're a middle-aged man, you want to have your pork. I mean, fine, do it today, but probably for your health and environmental reasons, maybe you can have a salad tomorrow. Is it too much asked? No, it's not. So what is the beauty with the consumers is that, you know, citizens vote every 4 years. The consumers, they vote every day. So basically, all the businesses, like Raisio's example here, we need to be totally transparent. We need to measure what we do, and we have to disclose the information to the consumers. So consumers make the decision. We give them the products and the information on the products. They buy the products, they give the feedback to us if they like it or not, and they give the feedback every day. We work jointly with the farmers, and this is a contract farmer of Raisio from Somero, and we make sure that everything is fine. We make sure that the balance of coal, the balance of water is there, and the consumers will be giving the traceability. And currently what we are working on is that when you buy a pack of Elovena, you can see from which field, from which farmer that production batch has been sourced from. So total transparency. Of course, you have to be honest. You can't cheat. And the last point is that quite often when we speak on environmental topics, so there is a feeling that, you know, somehow it's dull or boring or impossible, etc., etc. But actually, I'm a believer in the consumers. So what could be more fun? I mean, think if you're a 5-year-old boy, what could be more fun than saving the planet? Nothing. Thank you very much.